1075 WGCI, the size number one for hip hop and R&B. It's the morning show with the destined legend Leon Rogers, beautiful Kendra G, myself, the shortest damn man in Chicago, Kyle. And you know what we're doing all month long here at WGCI, the Great 28. Every day this month, we celebrate a great Chicagoan, and today is no different. And today, we celebrate director straight from here in Chicago.
Yes.
You know what time it is. Rhyan Lamarr is on his Zoom with us right now. What up, bro? Hey, today's your day, bro. We celebrating you all day today. Congratulations.
Man, listen, I grew up listening to WGCI. I mean, I'm talking about like grew up listening to GCI back with like Howard McGee and Doug Banks and all them. So it's crazy to like to be to be not even nominated, to be honored with GCI. So I appreciate y'all.
Well, it's deserving. So for the people that don't know, you're a director, you are a filmmaker, you're from here in Chicago, and just give them a little bit brief synopsis of who Rhyan Lamarr is.
Look, born and raised in Chicago, humble beginnings. Came up here just trying to shoot. Actually, was trying to shoot music videos for Crucial Conflict back in the day, and they wouldn't give me no work. But that's because my videos weren't that good at the time. But you know what I mean? But I studied and really loved what music videos were doing in the 90s, with Paul Hunter and the Crossroads, and what Missy was doing with her videos and things like that. And that actually inspired me to go to Columbia College and learn a little bit more about the craft and cinema. And I just kind of fell into it from that. And so, yeah.
I had the I had the honor of telling Rhyan that he was a recipient of the Great 28, and he was like, "Stop playing with me. You for real? You serious?" And I just love how excited you were, but it's so well deserved. When I think of you, I think of something that Issa Rae once said, and she was like, "Everybody's trying to come up, and they be trying to find someone to pull them up, but just connect with people that's on your level, and y'all come up together. Like it should be vertical, not trying to have someone pull you up." And I feel like my personal relationship with you is an example of that. Like, you are a film director, and you work with people who you are on vertical levels with you, and you bring them up with you. So I just salute you for that. But why is it so important for you to do that?
I mean, it's all about family. It's all about, I come from like a big sports background. And so when you learn and having a team, you don't necessarily have to have like the 10 Michael Jordans or 10 LeBrons. It's more about the team that you create, that you want on the floor with you. Who's your starting five, and then who's your bench, and you come up together. And so for me, that's what it's always been about. It's been about family. It's been about brotherhood. And it's been about just like, building blocks, step by step, creating, and just elevating, instead of being like, I want to go up there immediately. It's just like, being the ladder and not trying to climb the ladder. That's kind of where we, how we function.
Yo, Rhyan, real talk. I want to talk about social media, like platforms like TikTok and Instagram that are basically creating young new directors because of the content and stuff that they put on there. What would you say to young people who spend a lot of time on TikTok coming up with creative stuff? How can they cultivate that and turn that into a career like yours?
I mean, I work with, people like Daystorm Power and King Batch and Adam W, who literally, all they had was a cell phone and they turned it into millions of dollars. And so nowadays you really don't have an excuse anymore. Like before, it was expensive to go film stuff. Like you could just pick up your phone and go film some 4K image and like turn it into a movie. So now it's all about how you manage your time, you organize and you plot and you create your goals, because the technology is there, the freedom to create is there. You can literally film something and upload it and millions of people could watch it. You know what I mean? So it's all about structuring that stuff in the business and paying attention and learning all the new things that keep popping up, like, these NFTs and this metaverse and all this stuff that's just kind of coming in. But it's like, you got to like learn it. I had to learn that stuff the other day, just because you're going to get left. It's like that new thing where it's like, don't get left, because this social media, I mean, Instagram is Instagram, but now we're in the metaverse now. So it's like, don't get left. That's what I'm always telling people, like, pay attention. If this is what you want to do, you got to stay up. You got to stay up with everything.
Mm-hmm. Rhyan, talk about coming out of Chicago, man, and just trying to make your way into this industry. And I know we talked about it amongst us previously, but for the people that didn't get to hear the chance about how you started your path, you know what I mean? Share that story with the people.
Well, listen, I was actually gonna stop going to film school. My first year at Columbia, I learned like film was about, and it was film still, it wasn't digital. So film was about like math and like, you know what I mean? And if you wanted to light something, you had to like put the equations together and actually map it out. And I wasn't good at math at the time. So I was like, well, I'm not trying to go to math school, I'm trying to go to film school. And so I was really discouraged. And at that same time, I had actually wound up being able to work on Mr. 3000. If you don't know what Mr. 3000 is, it was actually Bernie Mac's first lead starring movie, where it was all about him. And he played a baseball player. Angela Bassett was in it, some other people. But I ended up almost about to drop out to working with him for 3 months on that film, and then going back to LA to work on the Bernie Mac show, and completely restoring my confidence in myself and understanding and learning how a humble man can create a dynasty, you know. And he was a lot older too at the time, you know, and he was doing a lot, you know, if you think about that. Like, he didn't get on at 22, right. You know what I mean? You know, and so that showed me a lot that like this was definitely a marathon. As cliche as that sounds, it was definitely a marathon. And you know, and that's kind of what I just hold on to as a filmmaker today, because I was exposed to a lot in LA in the beginning. You know, when I was able to blessed to work with him, you know, he was blowing up, you know, at the time, you know what I mean? That's when he was like, I ain't scared of y'all. And they gave him that TV show, you know, and he was able to do the Bernie Mac show and able to do, you know, they started working with George Clooney and Ashton Kutcher and all these people. And it's just like, but he was still that humble dude from the shop. He was still like, come on over, I'm gonna cook dinner for everybody, for the cast. You know what I mean? And so it was a blessing to see that when I first got in, because no matter how high I go and the Lord allows me to go, I'm always brought back to, yeah, but Bernie was making dinner and working with George Clooney. You ain't working with George Clooney yet. And he was still humble, still talk about Chicago, still talk about, no, wait, let me watch the Sox win. You know, let me watch the Sox win before I go finish my last shot. That's a true story, by the way. True story, by the way. He was like, wait, I want to watch them win before I can go film my last shot on the show, when we was doing the show back in back in LA. So that's a true story.
Yeah, that's what's up. Ryan, talk about the power of the tongue, because you're very big on speaking things into existence. I don't even know if people know this, but sometimes I think for North of the 10, which aired last week on BET Plus, when we were filming it, it wasn't confirmed it was going to be on BET Plus, right?
Nope.
At that time. So you have this movie that, you know, is costing money to make, but you didn't really have the outlet at that time of where it was going to be released. Now, obviously it's on BET Plus, but you were doing all that and you had nothing but positive energy that it was going to be placed in the right, and on the right platform. So just talk about that, like walking by faith, I guess, kind of is what I want to call it.
Well, it's 100%. Me and my business partner, Dr. Eric Garnes, the CEO of Red Gorilla, like, we literally walk by faith. You know, as independent filmmakers and independent content creators, like, sometimes, you know, you have to go show people what they can't see. Because we pitched North of the 10 around everywhere, and we just kept hearing the word no, 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 no. So we said, all right, we're gonna create it and show them the same, like some of the same people that are now praising it, they just didn't understand it and then they just couldn't visualize it. So I said, all right, we'll go the long way just to get right back to here to show y'all what we were trying to show y'all. But sometimes people will say no just because they don't get it. It doesn't mean that it's a bad idea.
I wanna stay with that, man, because I'm watching. I see that they're gonna have a reboot of The Color Purple, but it's gonna be a musical. And I get so frustrated with Hollywood of taking old stuff and rehashing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
As a director, with new creative ideas, with another way of thinking and other movies, how frustrating is it to see like stuff that was made 20 years ago getting remade and not letting that 20-year-old movie live and be historical and make people go back and watch that.
Mm-hmm.
But then come up with something new. How frustrating is that as a director?
You know, people like to bet on safe, you know, and continue to bet on safe. And sometimes it is frustrating when you have ideas or like you watching what they put out on TV or movies and then like, I sat with y'all and y'all said y'all wanted this, and that's what y'all did. It is a little frustrating, but it also is encouraging because I'm like, all right, so y'all did that, y'all put money in that. So it's not even the idea that y'all invested in. You invested in somebody you trusted. So I need to get y'all to trust me, because y'all trust me like they trust Tyler Perry, right? Tyler Perry can do whatever he wants to do because they trust Tyler Perry. He's a built-in brand. He's done amazing, within his niche. And so I had to learn it's about getting them to trust you.
But Ryan, I don't want to cut you off. This is your moment. But is it about trust or about the fact that Tyler Perry is proven he's going to get the money? Like Tyler Perry proves
that's why they trust him.
so it's not more so about trust than it's about results. We know we're going to get our money back if we invest in you.
But that's trusting though, because they didn't always used to trust his brand. You know what I mean? Like,
okay,
not every people weren't going to see his plays in the beginning. You know what I mean? And he had to build that audience, because his audience trusts him that it's going to be a good product. You know, you got to get what I'm saying.
But do we need to see Madea Goes to Jail, the remake, this time with Anthony Anderson as Madea? Like that's my thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what blows my mind.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, they bet on safe, but then it always takes somebody to come in like a Issa Rae or a Donald Glover, who's just gonna do something completely left field, and then they're gonna be like, oh, or Jordan Peele. Oh, okay, I like that. That's different. But it took Jordan Peele hundreds of no's to get them, to green light his brand. Now they trust him. You know what I mean? And so I just feel like you got to step outside the box, do a North of the 10, go from Chicago to Abu Dhabi, make the movie, be like, this is what I was trying to tell y'all. I broke my back trying to tell y'all this, but here it is. Oh, okay, cool. What else you got? Really? Right. All right. Okay. But you got to do it.
You doing things like that is what's putting you in a position to be where you are today, and it's the reason why you are today's.
Yes.
All of this, you are the great 28 that we are acknowledging today, man. Ryan Alexander, director, right from here in Chicago, man. So keep doing what you're doing, and we definitely appreciate it all, bro.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate it.